Welcome to the fundamental update for 1st of February 2026. So I want you all to understand that in this fundamental update, I'll be giving you a lot of rundown. I'll also be adding BTC USD to it, that's Bitcoin, because one of you requested for it in our weekend classes. If you haven't attended our weekend classes, or if maybe you've been hearing about it, well, I do host weekend classes every Saturday, which is in my Telegram channel. Now, if you go through my YouTube description, you would see my link to both the Telegram channel, to both the WhatsApp, to any of my social media, handles. So just click on it so that you can join and you'll not be missing out on free knowledge I used to drop. With that being said, let's go into the fundamental updates for this week. I need you to pay close attention because a lot of things happened last week and I'll be explaining all of that. So first of all, this is dollar, and we know that dollar has been bearish for a while now, and ending of last week we had a little bit of bullish rise. I'll be explaining why that happened as well. Also, we had JPY. Let's look at the Japanese yen, which is just the JXY currency. We knew that JPY was actually bullish for a while, and then all of a sudden is bearish. I'll also be explaining that. Let us go over to the economic indicators we had last week and see what happened. We had the AUD CPI coming out positive, which is a good thing. This shows that AUD is still bullish. Before I go into JPY and USD, let me explain the most clear currency in which we have now. Do you understand? Which is the AUD, right? The AUD currency, the Australian dollar. I want you to understand that the Australian dollar has, sorry, might be ending with of background noise. The Australian dollar has tendencies of keep being bullish. Why? Because the economy is doing fine. Inflation is rising. We are seeing, possibility of a rate hike this week. They are going to increase interest rates this week, and that will lead to a bullish currency. Now, when it comes to fundamental, I told someone in the weekend class yesterday, you trade based on expectation. Now, if you're buying Australian dollar now, it might be a little bit too late, because I've been saying this thing since last 3 fundamental update that AUD is actually strong. So you would have found a good entry to be buying AUD. So that means AUD card, you buy it, GBP AUD, you sell it. Anything that has AUD, you know what to do based on the position of the currency. So right now, I'm trying to let you know that Australian dollar is still positive, but we are going to be having a rate hike next week. Now, if you are buying now, it might be a little bit too late. Why? Because that rate hike is going to be happening on Tuesday. And what you're going to be doing is you want to be trading based on expectations. So if you wanted to trade this news that's coming out on Tuesday, what do? You would have actually placed a trade maybe on Wednesday or maybe on Thursday and held it all the way till Tuesday before the news come out. Because one thing you have to understand about interest rate announcements is that sometimes even after they give the rate, they still have statements. Now, in that statement, they can say something like they don't see any reason to keep increasing interest rates, and that will make the currency to dump massively. It happens a lot. In dollar, in Japanese yen, we've seen examples of this, right? For those who have been following my fundamental updates, we've seen examples of this. Last year, it happened a lot. I will tell you that this currency is going to be bullish based on the interest rate hike. On the day of the hike, right, the currency will be bullish, but on the day of that hike, the currency might dump massively. Why? Because the statements can come out differently. So that is why when it comes to news, take note, write it down somewhere. When it comes to fundamentals, you trade the expectations and not the actual news itself. If expectations of AUD's interest rate is to come out high, what you're supposed to be doing is last week Wednesday, last week Monday, you're supposed to be looking for bullish entries on AUD. Do you understand? You buy it all the way till Tuesday. If we know that, employment rate on dollar is going to come out positive, which is next week, you would buy dollar before that news release comes out. And this is how I trade fundamentals with my students and with the VIP Signal members. Do you understand? So AUD has been bullish, CPI coming out positive, and that is a very, very good thing, right? On Wednesday, we had another important news, which was the federal fund rate, which was the interest rates for dollar, and the interest rate for dollar came out neutral. Like I said, it's going to come out neutral. But why did dollar rise? I want you to understand that the reason why dollar rose was because of the good news in which Trump gave in the market. Dollar has been selling because of three reasons. First of all, due to risk of environment. That's one of the reasons why dollar has been selling. Second of all, Trump implemented that he's going to put in a new Fed chairman, and that Fed chairman is going to support the bearish movement in dollar. Do you understand? Let's go to dollar and be looking at it while we're saying all this. It's going to support the bearish movement in dollar, and based on that expectations, investors started selling dollar. And not only that, we also had expectations of 2 rate cuts coming up this year on dollar. Now all these things already gave dollar reasons to sell, and that's why dollar was selling. Then on Thursday, I think on Thursday or on Friday, Trump now gave another news saying that he might put another Fed chairman, and now that Fed chairman that they want to put is in support of rate hikes, which is in support of bullish momentum in dollar. So that was why dollar rose. Do you understand? That was why dollar rose a bit. So based on the fact that investors are expecting Trump to put in a new Fed chairman that is in support of bullish momentum in dollar, they have already started trading based on that expectation. In fundamentals, we trade based on expectations. Do you understand? And not only that, that was also the reason why gold sold massively. Let's look at gold a bit. I talked about this in yesterday's weekend class. Gold sold massively last week. Why? Because of the expectations of the new Fed chairman being in support of a bullish dollar. Gold rises based on risk off. It rises based on uncertainties. It rises based on fear. Why? Because once there's fear in the market, investors remove their money from riskier assets like the dollar, like the AUD, like the NZD, and they put it on gold. Even BTC, they remove their money from BTC and put it on gold. And so that's why gold has been pumping. Then all of a sudden we had a good news in which Trump is going to put a new Fed chairman, which is support of bullish momentum in dollar, and that was why gold dumped massively. Also, there's something called profit taking, investors profit taking, in which I explained in yesterday's live stream with people who are in the Telegram channel. It was a free class, so if you missed it, I suggest you join the Telegram channel so that you can watch the recorded section, because I actually recorded it. So I explained every reason why gold dumped massively. So that is just simply it. For Japanese yen, let us explain what also happened in Japanese yen. For Japanese yen, we had a bullish momentum. Why? Because of the expectations that yen is going to go through an intervention. Now, yen has been bearish for a very, very long time. For a very long period of time, yen has been bearish. This is called yen weakness. You understand? So now, the Senate president of the Japanese yen, of the Japanese economy, came together with Trump, and they agreed on something. They are going to support yen movement. They are going to make yen stronger again. Now, based on this announcement, based on this expectation, yen pumped massively. And all of a sudden on Thursday they canceled that agreement, and that was why yen started selling again. Do you understand? That's just simply it. So will Japanese yen keep selling? Now the news on Japanese yen is contradicting. There's something in fundamentals in which I explained to my macroeconomics students that when two news are contradicting, you want to stay away from that currency. So when it comes to Japanese yen, we are not really sure where it's heading, because now we had expectation that they are going to intervene for yen weakness, and all of a sudden they are saying they are not going to intervene anymore. Currently it is weak, but you don't know what will come out during this week now and make it strong again. Do you understand? So my advice is, for those who trade using fundamentals, stay out of Japanese yen. If you use technicals, you can take the risks and place your trade. But me, I trade with fundamentals, so I wouldn't take the risks of placing any trade in this particular currency, Japanese yen. Anything that I have JPY for this week, I'm not going to place any trade until I understand where it's heading. But for AUD is very clear. It's still bullish. You can still find bullish, right? But after the news expectation, which is coming out on Tuesday, you should be very careful, because the statement might come out bearish, which might make your bullish rise on AUD short-lived. It might become bearish for a while. Even if the statement come out bearish, I don't think it will affect AUD for a long period of time. It might just be for that day. Do you understand? But in the long term, AUD, Australian economy, they are experiencing positivity, so we should be expecting more bullish ride on AUD. Now, what about dollar? I want you to understand that for dollar, I want you to know that dollar is still going to be bearish. This might just be a retracement. There's always a news that give retracement. When it comes to trading, most times a currency will not sell forever or will not buy forever. There will always be a retracement. So this is that retracement. I want you to understand that there are a lot of uncertainties in the market, and just one good news will not change everything. So because we had one good news doesn't mean, oh, that dollar would actually now be bullish. No, it might just, give you this move for a short period of time. Then all of a sudden you might now see, the real move next week or ending of the week. Let me find my trend line and draw something for you so you know what I am predicting on dollar. Let me see. I thought I picked these tools. Why did they erase from my favorite? Let me see if I can get something like an arrow for you and show you my prediction on dollar. So patterns, geometric shape, annotation. Let's go to annotation. No, that's not it. I think we have to go to trend line. Let us see if I can use this. Oh no. Well, I want you to understand that. Let me not stress myself over that. Later on I'll know what's up and I'll set it up again. But I want you to understand that dollar is going to be bearish long run, but for now is bullish. So it's like a retracement. And if we look at Euro USD, we can see that retracement is coming all the way to our key level. Do you understand? I drew a key level for yesterday's live stream and I said if Euro USD get to this key level, right? If Euro USD gets to this key level, let's delete this. If Euro USD gets to this key level, what is wrong with my trading view? The trading view is acting up. If Euro USD gets to this key level, then we can now find a way to take a trade here. But for now, we are sitting down. Do not try placing any trade that is not close to a key level. Why? Because market usually respects key level. You can see this place, a market buy zone. You can see how market respected it. This particular place, you can see how market respected it. If you want to be trading and you want to be right most of the time, work with key levels. And I explained key levels for my students perfectly and those who are in my community. Do you understand? So that's one thing. If you are trading with me, I will keep you updated with knowledge. I would always tell you what the market is respecting at a particular moment. There was a time in which the market was always sweeping other blocks, and I gave the heads up to my student that you should be careful. Markets use other block as liquidity now. The markets always evolve. Most times you have to just be ready to play along with the market. Do you understand? So that is just simply it. No knowledge will last forever, so you have to keep evolving. As the market is evolving, you have to keep evolving, and that is why I learned fundamentals, because I realized that fundamentals is controlling the market. You trading just with technicals is wrong. I'm telling you, it's very, very wrong. You should actually add fundamental to your game and you will be one step ahead of other traders. Since I added fundamentals, my win rate have increased drastically. I'm not even capping. I'm not even saying this for you to even do it or for you to learn it. If you don't want to learn it, that is actually your decision. But for me, I can tell you for a fact, even people who have learned fundamentals, they can tell you for a fact that fundamentals make them understand where the market is heading, what is happening, because you cannot just be trading based on FVG and other block. You have to know what is actually happening. I know why Euro USD started retracing. Do you understand? All these things are what you understand from fundamentals. So we should be expecting once Euro USD get to this key level, we should look for a confirmation to keep buying, because dollar will keep being weak. Now for the updates on BTC USD, I want you to understand that BTC is a risky asset. What does this mean? It means that investors put their money on BTC when the economy is doing well, when there's no fear in the market, when everything is doing great. BTC would be going up. And if you do follow the fear and greed index, there's something called fear and greed index. This is for crypto traders. Fear and greed index will tell you what investors are feeling. So if they are more scared, BTC will be dropping massively. So what is causing the fear in BTC? I want you to understand that BTC is also correlated with dollar. So for the fact that they are having a risk-off environment on dollar, Trump is planning on implementing tariff. Not only that, dollar is expecting 2 rate cuts. Not only that, we also had geopolitical uncertainties in the market. Do you understand? Now, this made the dollar, weak, and also the BTC weak. So BTC currently is selling just because of the uncertainty. Will it keep selling? Yes, possibly to keep selling. When will BTC stop selling? When the uncertainty ends. How will you know when the uncertainty will end? Possibly you have to understand macroeconomics, or you stay updated with my fundamental updates. I'll tell you when the uncertainty have ended. But for now, there's still uncertainty in the air. We don't know when it will end. It might end this week. Trump might say something, and if he does, I'll give you all the updates. That is just simply it. Well, I want you all to understand that that is it for this week. What are my focus this week? AUD pairs and USD pairs. So I've not really seen any good entry, but let us go to AUD USD and see that AUD USD is actually giving us a retracement. AUD USD has been bullish for a while now. I told you that AUD is actually strong, so this is the best time to buy AUD because dollar is weak and AUD is strong. So AUD USD has been bullish for a very long period of time and is giving a retracement. So if you can find an entry at that retracement, that's a good buy. Do you understand? Even GBP AUD, same thing, giving a retracement. You can find a good entry for GBP AUD. That's actually a good, that's actually a good buying or selling opportunity for GBP AUD, a good selling opportunity actually. So my network might want to interrupt with this section, but let's see how it goes. If it works out, I'll show you the chart pattern. If it doesn't, I've already told you all what is important this week and what we should be expecting. Okay, so this is AUD USD is retracing all the way to this level here. You can see this is a mid pivoted order block. Now I cannot tell you that the market will retrace all the way back down to this key level. That might be too much. You understand? Normally I would have said wait for it to get here, but that's too much. So market might actually come here, dance a little bit to this particular zone here. It might come here, dance a little bit, and keep going up. That is my expectation. But what will I tell you? I'll tell you to wait for a confirmation. Do not just rush in, because market might want to sweep liquidity at this area for those early buyers. You understand? So GBP AUD, let's see GBP AUD. GBP AUD is giving a huge retracement as well. If market gets to a good level for a buy, we can take the trade at that zone. And me, I'm looking at that level, this level over here. You can see this is my level I'm looking at for a buy, because the mid pivoted order block there, there's a sweep of liquidity. This looks like a very, very good concept to actually sell the market. So if the market gets there, you can now sell. Did I say buy before? I meant sell. So that's it simply. But this is the key level though. This is the key level. So don't be surprised if market actually, sweep this, right? Sweep this and get all the way to this key level before selling. It's possible. Anything can happen in the market. It's possible. That's why I say, as long as it's 4 hours time frame I'm doing this analysis, always wait for confirmation, because it's 4 hours time frame I'm doing this analysis. You can go to lower time frame and find a better possible entry for this pair. But for now, all I'm trying to say is that this pair is bearish. It's still bearish. Do you understand? So that's just simply it. Let's look at some of the important news you should be expecting this week that will move the market, and we can call it a day. So the AUD, you should be expecting this on Tuesday to move the market. Which other one? I think we should be having NFP this week. Yeah, NFP, and it's expected to come out positive. But will it affect dollar? It might not really affect dollar. Why? Because that is not investors' focus. Investors' focus is not on employment rate. It's not actually on that. Investors' focus is currently on geopolitical events and risks of uncertainty. So your NFP might not even move the market. Yes, it's good to always know market sentiment. It's called market sentiment. I taught it in my macroeconomics mastery course. Market sentiment, it helps you to understand the news that investors are actually focusing on. You understand? And investors' focus right now is not on employment rate. It's not even on inflation. It's on the geopolitical events that is happening. It's on the risks of environment that is happening. Do you understand? So that is just simply it for this week. I don't think there's any other news that will move the market. Yeah, all this news, just be careful, because most of this currency are not my currency of interest. GBP is not my currency of interest. Euro is not my currency of interest. CAD is not. CAD and NZD is not. We're having bank holiday on NZD, so don't expect much volatility on Thursday on NZD, right? So that's just simply it. With that being said, I want you all to understand that you can also ask questions in my DM, my WhatsApp DM, right? I'll be willing to answer that. With that being said, have a lovely week ahead, and it's going to be a profitable one. Volatility have kicked in. Let's start making good money.